The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the podcast. This is Nikki Glaser Podcast. Just for anyone watching on YouTube, if my skin looks disgusting, it's because I got a Morpheus 8 laser staple gun in my face 2 days ago. So the past 2 days, my face, I'm not supposed to wear makeup, but I did put it on for this, and then I take it off immediately because it's just too disturbing. I was thinking, I'll just not wear makeup and say that I had a facial. I don't care. But if someone clipped it, people would be, whoa, my God. And I was like, maybe I'll hold a sign the whole time next to my face that says, I had a laser facial. This isn't my real face. So you just can't get away with things because they get clipped.
What does that do for you?
It's a great question. Not really sure because it seems to have it's cut up my face pretty severely. I have actual abrasions on my face from it. It's cut. Anya is here, by the way. Taylor's here. Noah's here. Brian's here. Anya, you've had this done before. Did you have actual cuts on your face? Because I have it. She said I might have scratches, and I do have lines and scratches and cuts.
I didn't
all over
have
my face.
That. No, but I did look like a fucking piece of work. Someone, a tractor trailer just drove over my face.
So you did have, so that's cuts.
No, I didn't have cuts. It just was when you get have you ever had Fraxel? Where you have wild scabs?
Road rash. Yeah,
but if a tractor trailer drove over your face, you would have cuts. So the analogy has been placed into question.
Well,
no, that's what I was saying.
Road rash only.
Road rash.
RRO.
I think I had long, you're talking a razor blade cut kind of thing.
Yeah, I have a chunk missing from my nose. It feels like it really felt like a staple gun. I mean, that's what she compared it to. It was very painful. I had to be numbed so they put numbing cream on your face, which I've had a million injections in my life, and different facial things, and they put the numbing cream on, and it's usually on for 15 to 20 minutes. She was like, this needs to be on an hour because this is so painful. I had no idea. I originally even got this because I heard Anya was like, I did this radio frequency thing. It's pain-free. It just feels like they're rubbing a dildo on your face. Yes, but then I asked you, what's it called? And you said the Morpheus 8. And so I went in that day and I said, can I have the Morpheus 8? And then
can I have the Anya?
I went in the next time to get it and they were like, this is the most painful one. And I was like, that's not the one my friend had.
Okay, good.
And then I went back to you and I was like, did you actually have the Morpheus 8? And you were like, I don't know. And then I was like, oh wait, I think I'm in too deep. But then I couldn't get it that time because I had to be on TV the next day and they were like, absolutely no makeup. And so I went back this week because I don't have any TV. I just have this, and I'm not supposed to be wearing makeup. But
what
couldn't
you
do it.
endured
What's
is
the
the
hope?
most powerful thing ever.
The hope is building collagen. It triggers the underneath layer of the skin. Noah, if you want to look up what it does, I would love maybe a description because I really don't know. I just go to these things.
That's a good description. It lifts and tightens, so it's for people that are.
It doesn't lift anything, by the way. It doesn't lift anything.
It takes 3 months to show up. Just so
she told me it doesn't lift. She said, "Don't look for lasers to lift. They're never going to lift.
It's not a laser.
That's not going to happen.
It's a bunch of needles going on into your dermal layer.
Look for these things to lift." She said, maybe she's wrong, but she was like
smoothing. So it says,
yes.
I don't know what this means, but it remodels and contours the face and body via subdermal adipose remodeling.
Okay.
I meant
that makes sense.
I had a Nate Burkus in there.
Adipose
shit around.
Is something that happens after you die. Adipose something. Oh, maybe that's just the fat that comes out after you die. Cyril Wecht will be performing it.
Oh, okay, so it's supposed to.
Taylor knows that.
It's supposed to penetrate deep into the skin and fat for a smoother and sleeker appearance. So that makes sense.
Okay, yes. So it really was like a ka-chink, 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 ka-chink. It's all over your face. It hurts so bad, even with the numbing stuff, which is fine because it's something like $900. It's ridiculous. But a shout out to Nyack. If you're in St. Louis, definitely go to Nyack. They know what they're doing. Everyone there is fucking gorgeous. Jen Jones is my favorite. I love her so much.
Yeah.
She consults me but here's the thing. I will say that
shout out to West Nyack, a city in New York.
Yeah,
shout out to there.
Shout out to my bank account that is missing $900 after many treatments.
It's a lot of money, but it's all worth it. But this was what I was confused about because I'm like, I go in there and I'm asking about like dents in my face, the things I'm seeing. And by the way, I did see a YouTube clip the other day of our show, and I just clicked on it to like watch a second of it, and you can't miss a comment because they just staple a comment to the top. And so I hate comments. And someone did say, can we all agree Nikki's face hasn't changed? That's very nice. Please don't think that some days I have bad days, some days I have good. I'd rather no one comment on it at all. And I know you're like, well, what, you commented on it? Are we not supposed to comment on it? Yeah, you could just not write a comment under it.
But do write a comment, just not about the appearances, because we need the comments for engagement.
Yeah.
Okay, so leave a comment, but I guess I would be frustrated if I was a listener and was like, well, you talk about your face, we can't weigh in. Can I just talk about my face without you weighing in? Does that give you a right? But I don't know. Maybe it does. Listen, that's up to you. Whatever. I'm not going to read it, but I did read one because they're stapled to the fucking top, and I can't watch a clip of myself I can't show interest in my own show without having some kind of insight from a stranger. But so they were, but I just want to say, yeah, whatever. I guess that's my point. But then after, so I get done with the staple gun face, and then I was like, we were talking about, she was talking about how some clients have to like lie about their stuff to their husbands because they're so embarrassed about getting it done. And she said that this one woman told her husband she was getting a colonoscopy. And I was like, wait, why? How did she not look crazy?
On her face?
Yeah. And she was like, no, that she was having something that she got away with saying colonoscopy because she had to take a fentanyl lollipop, which is a real thing. Sounds fun.
That?
Mama,
it's where you literally suck on fentanyl.
Suck on a little. You got to watch Intervention, the best one.
Because it's so painful.
And that's how you kill yourself?
But you don't have any. You can't. No visual signs.
But there's no visual signs. And I go, what's that? I want to do
on her
that.
Ass.
No, it's on her face. So she goes, that's the Ulthera. And she points to this machine behind her. And I go, why am I not doing that? And she was like, well, you can do that. And I'm like, this is my problem with these things. It's like, I just, when I was leaving, I go, I want to do that next time because it's bigger and better. And you need a fentanyl, anything that's like requires more. And you don't have any.
How could it hurt that bad that you need fentanyl?
And you don't there's no visuals of it. You look like maybe a little red, but like nothing like I got. So I'm like, why am I doing this instead of that? And I think the answer is cost. Maybe that's like so much more. But I just told her, I go, Jen, I need you to know, I want to do everything. Everything you can do, I want to do. I got money to burn on this. I got face to burn on this. I want. I don't think you understand everything you have. Every arsenal. Let's just do it. Because I don't want to get a facelift because the guy that I would go to is booked out until a year. So I got to schedule a facelift now if I want one, which I'm not ready
to do that.
No, I know.
But here's what I want to say.
People our age do that. Don't want anybody say I need one. Don't do it.
Yeah, 40
in their 20s get them.
With Ulthera
and
radio frequency microneedling, you do have to be careful because you can lose the very precious little fat tissue around your eyes. And some technicians don't know what they're doing. This is what I've been told by the best. And then you can melt away the beautiful fat that you desperately want, actually. And you can have that hollow look of the eyes that you trademarked. Nikki, what do you call them? I don't know. Jeff Bezos' wife's eyes, or who was it? You're like her eyes.
It's Dr. Phil's wife.
Okay.
No, those are classic eye job eyes. But I think the hollow eyes, like Oppenheimer eyes. Like he looks like a skull. Yeah, Cillian Murphy. I have those kind of eyes.
The villain from Captain America.
Someone sent me a Leslie Gore clip today, which I really was flattered by. This girl, a bestie, I believe, was like, you look like Leslie Gore back in the day. And she was singing, I think she was singing It's My Party or something like that. Yeah. And again, I was like, oh, every time I get told I look like someone, it's because their eyes are this certain way. I can't describe it.
Like Terry Garr.
Yeah, Terry Garr's eyes aren't that's what I look like, but it's not the eye thing. Everyone else, it's this like all this weird eye shape that I don't particularly like in other people, and I'm kind of
I get the
sad that I don't like it in myself.
Mine is Shelley Duvall's eyes, like borderline.
No, you don't
Graves'
look like Quam
disease eye. Borderline Quam Graves. They're like
Quam eyes,
just like Shelley Duvall.
For those of you who are new to the show,
so beautiful.
Quam eyes are based off of someone we went to high school with, who kind of talked like this.
Quispy.
And his last name, we're not going to say what it is, but it was something like, it started with a Chris.
It kind of was like,
and he would always say, like his, that's how his name was something like that. And so, and he also had eyes that shut, the lower lid and the upper lid came together each on its own.
Like
symbiotically. They met in the middle like little clams. And so he had clam eyes.
Equal
but because
volitional.
he talked like this, we called them quam eyes.
And we called them crispy clam eyes.
Clam eyes because
they also looked crispy and singed. Because he had been in a fire.
Oh my
Can't
god!
say that. He could be listening.
was
He
not-
always looked sunburned.
he was not
okay,
in a fire.
Sorry.
Not through-
If
through
you're
his-
listening,
No, he wasn't. We pretended that
he did look
had run
a
through a
little
fire.
bit burnt. He looked like he had just had Althera. He really
Oh
did.
my god!
It was
your
just-
he was
friend?
always
He was like
he was always
windburned.
windburned.
Yeah,
Yes,
he was our friend.
always skiing.
And
Was he
his
strawberry
hair
blonde?
looked dry.
His hair
like
was-
it had been, like it could light, like if someone put,
it could ignite.
it could ignite very, it was like straw. We're such bitches. But we loved this guy and he had no idea. And it's not like we would say this to his face.
Yeah, worst nightmare.
we just wanted to draw him.
Yeah, you're just
over
walking
and
down the
over
hallway
over
and you see
over.
two girls laughing at you and you don't know why.
No,
No,
we
he
were not
saw
like
it.
that. You don't,
No
Brian.
way.
He was like one of our best friends. He was our one of our best friends' boyfriend for years, and so
Oh, okay.
he was like we were. He is also a
We
person
did make fun of
that got
crispy.
your name, the words "your" and "name" tattooed on his ass our senior year,
Wait,
so he could
why?
say, "I have your name tattooed on my ass," and then girls would go, "What?" And then he would bend over and be like,
Wow,
"See," and
what
then
a
it's
bit.
like, "That's a good."
I love a guy who commits to a bit.
It's a pretty good bit. I can't believe he still has that on his ass though, and he's like a
he might have got
father.
it lasered, theraped off.
Morpheus 8.
Yeah. So yeah, I got Morpheus 8 and
I can relate to this
What's Morpheus
because
9?
I got me and your boy Tim Convey used to live together, and then we would drive all the way from Los Feliz to Santa Monica to get
Yeah.
laser hair removal on our backs. And the
you
the
guys-
laser hair removal on our backs in those days was excruciatingly painful. It was we'd have to like take the day off after doing the laser hair removal. We'd just go home and pass out in our beds. We wouldn't even eat dinner. And then I got laser hair removal on my back again 2 years later, and the technology improved, and it was like painless.
What? You just gotta
It was
wait
like
till it's
painless.
thick.
They with laser hair removal, they like spray cooling agent so that it numbs the skin and then it lasers you so that you don't feel
they
it.
didn't numb you.
They did.
They
They
just
put
went
like
full
numbing
bore.
cream on your back, but no, it was so painful.
Oh,
What
Both
year
of
is
us.
this?
This was like
2016.
yeah, 2016, and then by 2018, it was like the technology, or we just went to a
Trump
better
changed
place.
everything for you guys.
Once
That was
Trump
really the
became
difference between
president,
those years.
hair removal technology improved dramatically. Say what you will about Trump, okay?
What about hair placement? Should have been what?
Well, the 90s hair
Arrived because of
placement
him.
was like, yeah, that was a disaster. And now
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
you can't even tell.
How come Trump doesn't get hair placement
He's
What
got
do you mean?
beautiful hair.
instead of his hair being like it is?
I think he does probably have.
it's
plugs.
attached.
I think it's
I
a
think that
comb
thing-
up. It's a comb over
I think
for
it's
sure.
flopping in the wind.
I think
right?
he's
It
got
is
plenty of
flopping
hair
around.
for his age. He's got
Yeah,
a
he
ton of
kind
hair.
of does. But
You
I do
think
think
it's
I
on?
think it's pushed forward and kind of like I think it's a comb over.
But why didn't he just get it put in if he's so rich? Like,
Because it would take time.
oh, he
and-
can't hide.
And
You can't
he
hide,
is
yeah.
like the kind of
he
guy
cl-
that doesn't want to endure any discomfort or pain, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, all of this stuff is that's the problem. It's like it's painful and it takes so much time, and that's why I kind of give it up for girls who get it done. It's like, okay, well, you put it. That's it's not that easy to spend all this money and to be
Beautiful.
You ever hear the
yeah,
phrase?
to just be laid up forever.
You ever hear the phrase "pain is weakness leaving the body"? You ever hear that
Yeah.
phrase? What do you think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Do you agree?
I kind of like
agree.
that because it makes you stronger once you get through pain. It makes you
Well,
stronger
how do you feel
on
after
the
your
back
foot
end of it.
massages? Do you feel less
Oh my
stressed?
God. Well, that's like trauma leaving the body.
Yeah. That's probably
I just went to
more
Pilates
accurate.
this morning. It was the most painful thing of my life of just like trying to activate muscles that don't want to work. It was one of the hardest sessions. It was the hardest I've ever worked in a workout class. Like it was just like nonstop. And there's no like, you're not doing cardio. So there's no reason why you should be sweating and your heart rate should be up, but you're clenching so much and you're doing so much like abs and like trying to push it back with that muscle and not with your back. Like it was insane. And then I was doing this one stretch. If you guys know Pilates, it's the front splits.
What?
It unlocked something so deep in me. I was trying to make people laugh. I was like, my dad yelling at me at Six Flags in 4th grade. Like, I was just making stuff up to be like, it's unlocking trauma because they weren't really laughing though. But
who really was there?
Split?
There's a bunch of people around.
Huh?
Is it really a split?
It's like, well, you put your front foot on a bar, and it's kind of like raised above on this reformer, and then your back foot is behind you, and then your back foot slides on this thing, so you slide it back. So no, it's not even close to a front split. Like if you were doing it right, it would be like front splits, but your legs are split open with one in front of you. It's not like a middle split, and then you're stretching your hip flexors, and there's so much. I watch this YouTube video all the time. I really recommend it because her voice is so soothing and it's so good. And it's called Trauma Informed Yoga. Hips, relaxing stored trauma. And she just like walks you through
I have to do that.
all these. She does trauma yoga. This girl, what's her name? It's amazing. Hannah Uiri. Uiri. Hannah Uiri. And she does all these like trauma she does like yoga for sexual abuse survivors. And the whole thing. I just listen to it to go to sleep.
That's smart.
Yeah, I don't know because it helps me get to sleep because her voice is so soothing. But she's just the whole time this is what yoga is for sexual abuse survivors. Now we're going to get into our front lotus position. Now, only do this if you want to. You don't have to do anything I want you to do. You can sit, you can opt out at any point. Every time she tells you, now put your hand on your heart. Again, you don't have to do this. No one is making you do
Another option.
It's just
here.
reminding them constantly that they don't have to do it, which is very soothing and what I need to hear all the time in workout classes.
This is what my new chiropractor does. I told you girls on the chat, I have this new chiropractor. I went to him because I've had pain everywhere lately, just mysteriously out of nowhere. And he was like, so much less creepy than my old chiropractor who was like in a 70s jazz band and just would randomly put his hand into your sacrum and
Nikki's
you're like,
dad.
easy. Yeah. But this guy's like,
work Anya's.
Yeah. He was
One
like,
of our dads.
just so you know, if you're ever uncomfortable at any moment, tell me. I cannot read your mind. I will be touching you. Tell me if you're uncomfortable at any moment. Do not leave a comment on my Yelp. Just tell me and I will not be offended.
So this guy's had some trauma.
Yeah. And I was like, why is he talking so much? I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'm very
real
direct.
He's like
anymore,
whispering in your ear. You're like, right now, I feel really weird.
And then
that's
he
really
started
nice.
talking about boundaries like an hour into the set, or I said something like, yeah, boundaries are cool. We're just like shooting the shit. And he goes, well, tell that to Angela, my receptionist. And I'm like, what's going on with Angela? And he's like, I go, is that your partner? And he's like, yes. I mean, I would call her my partner. I don't think her husband would appreciate that.
Oh,
And I was like, oh boy, this guy has some boundaries.
Oh my God.
Someone's got a crush on Angela.
I can't stop seeing him, guys. I've seen him 5 times in 2 weeks.
Oh my
It
God.
sounds like
God.
it's hilarious.
No, he is great. He's great. I like him. He is not creepy.
How did you find him?
He's
that
2
Yelp
blocks
review?
away.
You're like, get some intimacy.
I just
okay.
looked him up and his reviews were like 5-star, like so many great reviews. I'm like, I'll check it
Is he
out.
cracking you? Is he
He's
crack-a-lacking?
cracking me. And
Yeah,
he's
does that-
doing weird woo-woo energy shit. And I'm so cynical and skeptical that I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm anti woo-woo anything.
Yeah.
I hate woo-woo.
what
the
are you
word,
doing
too.
now? What are you doing now? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, this
I
is
don't
just,
like woo-woo the word either.
Ugh,
I hate
sorry, I said it.
word.
We've all said it. We've all said it.
Instead.
We have.
We can get a super cut of all of us saying it on the podcast. We've all said it.
Oh,
before.
it's definitely been said by all of us.
Let's
No,
go to
no
the
question.
I go, oh, I hate that.
I say
word.
hocus pocus.
Yeah.
I don't say woo woo.
Hocus
Yeah,
Pocus
that's
is better.
good. That's
Solid
fun.
movie.
Poke.
I call Luigi Little Woo Woo sometimes.
That's
Is that
okay.
That's
That's okay.
wee.
You call him Little Wee Wee?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
Mare,
call him-
Mare, and Wee Wee.
Where are they? Did they leave?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
are they
so
still in this
silent.
room? Yeah, I call
Marius.
the dogs. It's insane what what the words that come out of my mouth.
Little
Oh,
bastard.
yeah.
But I was reading an article that it's very normal to talk to your dogs, even though they'll never ever respond or understand what you're saying. And I do think I've made Chris and I used to joke that Marion's so ugly, and we used to just be like, "You're disgusting," and like say that
That's
to
what
her.
Colin
But
says
we
to her.
can't do that anymore because words have meaning, even if you say them cheerily. So whenever he's like, she's the grossest thing that's ever lived, I always am like, no, you're so beautiful.
Yeah,
My boyfriend
they
goes,
know.
what happened to your face? Why is it like that?
Yeah, she's funky looking, man.
No.
She needs Oppenheimer 8.
That's what it should be called. All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back right after this. We're back. I'll be in Tempe this weekend, you guys. Tonight, Thursday night, if you are listening to this, there's a late show that still has tickets available if you want to come see me at the Tempe Improv. And then I will be in Portland tomorrow and Saturday. And next week I will be in...
No, you'll be in Portland on Saturday. You're in Tempe Thursday, Friday.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Thursday, Friday. Yes, right. Okay, Thursday, Friday, Tempe. Then Portland, Saturday. Then next week, somewhere else.
This
And I
girl
don't-
is on the go.
This girl is on fire.
Literally.
I am.
I was in Tempe a couple of months ago, and I noticed it was hotter, but I noticed that like people didn't wear like any clothes in Tempe. It was like the least clothed city I've ever been to.
Noah's very close.
Yeah.
Are you not
It's
clothed a lot?
In the summertime, I just wear like running shorts and a tank top because you
It's
can't wear much more than that.
I went into Trader Joe's, and there were people in like bikinis in the Trader Joe's.
Oh, that's great.
Sexy.
Yeah, it
Like
was pretty
Palm
awesome.
Beach. Yeah. I'm excited to go perform at a club again, and Pete Lee is opening up for me.
Yeah,
And he's always a fun hang. And yeah, I have not had a day off in I don't even know when.
10 years.
I don't even understand what
How
that
are
is.
you?
I'm actually pretty good. I get tired around 8:00 and then I go to sleep and but I just have to not stop working right now. There's always something to do. And that's just the way it is.
Can
you're
I
gonna
just
feel
say-
good around Christmas time. You know, you're gonna be done with the special, and you're gonna be like, "What a weight lifted off," and then you got this family time. Then maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Family
But then I have to get back on the road almost immediately. And then we're going skiing. I don't look
Oh.
forward to vacations, you guys. Like I
No.
don't want to go skiing. Even though it was my idea and I love skiing when I get out there, it is so much fucking work
It's so
to
much.
get all of that equipment
to
and
haul
buy all of that
everything.
new stuff that you need to look cool on the mountain
Yeah.
and make sure you're going to be warm enough and have all the
Uh-huh.
little things. It's just like, it's a
But
lot.
It shouldn't
All
be
the hot
about the skiing
chocolate.
for you. It should be about the après ski. When you're done skiing, sitting by that fire, eating whatever you want with your friends after everyone's a
Yeah.
little tired
You
and
get
hungry.
your cocoa.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the best
Yeah,
part.
that is true. I think the best part is truly going down the mountain full speed as fast as I can. And like, there's no one around me. I'm not worrying or waiting for someone. Like, if you ski with me, we're not skiing together. Okay. I'm going down the mountain full speed
You're
as
on
fast
your
as
own.
I want.
I
This
don't
is
like that.
my time.
I'm
I don't want to
scared.
wait for you. I don't want to go like stop and look at trees, Dad. I don't want to go like, oh, check out this view. Let's take a picture. I get to the top and I go right down because that's so fun. And I don't want to wait for anyone. And
Man.
so that is and when I've been going down that mountain and just feeling so in control and swashing back and forth, I just think to myself, I remember thinking this when I was, I think like in college at some point. I remember taking a snapshot and being like a screenshot with my mind and saying, Nikki, your goal in life is to do this as much as possible. This is the best feeling in the world. Chase it.
Is.
And I've only been skiing once, I think,
yeah.
in the 20 years since then.
I've only been once like in my life, but it's the best. thing of all time.
So I guess I am excited about doing that.
Wait,
Okay.
so you don't
I
go
just told
back and
myself to
forth
do
at
it.
all?
No, I do. I mean, I go back and forth, but I go fast. And I'm not
Okay.
recklessly fast. I don't like
You
to
just
be
go
leisure
straight?
about anything. No. Because I'm terrified of dying, and I wear a helmet, and I do not like. I don't try to like be cool around people and like almost hit them. Like
Oh, fuck
I
that.
hate that so much. I am very controlled, and I don't do that until I get my bearings straight. Like
Trees? Do
I
you go through trees?
No, I don't want to die.
What
You know,
about
I'm not an
ramps?
idiot. I don't want a Sonny Bono, and so I just straight down the.
Going through trees is fun, though. If you go the right speed.
It can be if you see a little dip in there and you can go in.
You go in.
Yes, it can be
That's
fun.
my most fun part about skiing. Is the trees.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Not
no,
fast
no.
though. Not fast. And I didn't used to wear a helmet. You got to wear a helmet. You're an idiot if you don't wear a helmet.
It's crazy. We didn't wear a helmet
Yeah.
all my childhood. No helmets.
Who was that actress that died just because she fell on?
Natasha she was married to
Leone?
Liam Neeson.
I don't know.
No, Natasha, she played the mother in The Parent Trap. She just fell. She wasn't even
Richardson.
skiing. She wasn't, yes, she was, Natasha Richardson. She wasn't even skiing. She just fell over when they were like getting off a lift. Standing and hit her head.
Hit
And
her
she was
head.
like, I think
I could
I'm
be
fine.
wrong.
They got to the bottom of the mountain and she was like, I am not fine. Passed out, died.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, just from
Protect
hitting
your head.
it on the ice.
She died. She hit
Protect
her
your
head
head.
during a skiing lesson. It says.
Yeah, but I feel like when I read about it, she wasn't like going, like it was just like she kind of just toppled over and fell.
Yeah.
Falling is terrifying.
Yeah.
Bob Saget died from a fall, we think. I mean, like that's what
hitting
happened,
his
but we
head,
don't know
maybe?
where. Or some kind of falling back into the headboard, whatever it is. I always just think like if he would have just gotten a different hotel room. Like
Yeah,
if the
soft.
layout would have been if the layout would have been slightly different. If he hadn't have had a dream that woke him up that made him go pee in the middle of the night, like if he wouldn't have, like there's all these like what ifs. I watched Sliding Doors last night, so maybe I'm thinking about that right now too. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yes, I just mentioned it because I was watching a cut of the Bittersweet Symphony video that Matt did
Oh,
of
yeah.
Nikki starring in it, and it's so cool.
Yeah, Matt did a cover of it. Let's be clear.
Matt
Yeah.
Montpied and Alexa Rose do this cover. It's beautiful. Of
my
the
favorite song.
It's so good. And I never realized it was about like depression. And the lyrics are so cool. Like, have you ever been down? Have you ever been down? And then he goes, I'm a million different people from one day to the next. I can change. And Nikki's
My
in
moat.
it. And they have all these different cuts of Nikki. And I was like, this is like Sliding Doors. It's like, what if your life was this or this or this? It's just like,
But it was really because I
beautiful cuts.
couldn't memorize the lyrics to do it in one shot. So that's why it's cutting around. But it ends up, this is a happy mistake. It ends up looking cool because we do have to cut around it. Because I've been singing that song. I thought it was my mo. I didn't know it was my mold.
Mold.
I also didn't know that it was like what's the song about veins? There's something song about in my veins. I thought it was in my things. There was also a lyric yesterday that Chris talked about on his radio show that I cannot believe what it is because I have been saying it wrong so much. Okay, what is it? Just like the what is that? The Stevie Nicks
White
are just
Ranger.
like
White winged dove.
I thought it was White Ranger.
Oh.
White Ranger.
Just like the White Ranger sings a song, sounds like she's. I mean, I didn't think about it. I wasn't like, wow, a White Ranger singing.
Yeah.
But
What did
how
I
is
think?
that
I
not
thought-
White Ranger?
Because it's a white winged dove, right? Is
But
that
she's
right?
not saying that.
White
Just like-
winged
White
dove.
Ranger. She's
Yeah.
not saying it. She's saying White Ranger. But I've never, I don't think about lyrics. I'm just like, okay, yeah,
Oh, I
White
think about
Ranger.
them
I'm not
hard.
like,
Whatever.
I think about them later when they start to mean something to me. But at first, yeah, I just don't think about it. But what we're, okay, so the Bittersweet Symphony thing. Oh, Sliding Doors. I watched it last night because Chris had a call. And so sometimes when I'm like, I don't watch anything alone ever. And so we were going to watch Hell's Kitchen because that's our new favorite show. Or no, Kitchen Nightmares. That's where Gordon Ramsay goes and he figures out what these places should do to be better. It's so good. But he went to go get on a call and I was like, he's like, just watch whatever you want. And I'm like, I don't know what to watch without you. And so then I saw Sliding Doors was on Hulu and I was like, oh, that's nostalgic for me. 1996 movie, Gwyneth Paltrow, some Scottish guy that is really not done anything that I've known since, but he was such a cutie back then. But I remember he was a weird choice for a love interest because he kind of has droopy eyes, and he's just, I don't know. His name is John Hannah or something. I looked him up, but I couldn't. He's still a cutie, but it's a movie about she gets fired from her job and she's coming home to she goes into work. She leaves her boyfriend in bed. He's a writer and he writes all day. She goes into work. She gets fired. She leaves work. And then it just has this mystical moment where this little girl is like playing with a doll and she has to like walk around her. And then in the other moment, the mother of the girl like grabs her daughter and it's like, get out of this woman's way. And so she doesn't have to go around the girl. And just that split second of the mother moving the daughter, then Gwyneth Paltrow's life splits into two and you see how both of those lives end up. And on one, she catches the train, she goes home, she catches her boyfriend in bed with another woman and she starts a whole life anew. The other one, she doesn't get home in time because she misses the train. She bumps her head. She gets home late, and then she keeps living with him, not knowing that he's cheating on her. And then one, she's like, gets a makeover. They do a whole makeover scene where she cuts her hair real short, and it's like blonde Kate Gosselin haircut. But I love that. I just remember one time. Like I've told this before, but I was in New Orleans with Chris and I was like, I'm just going to go put $500. We were like near a casino. I was like, I'm going to put $500 on black. I just like want to do it. Let's just see what will happen.
That's what
Roulette.
I like.
I've never once, I don't gamble. It's the only time I think I can remember I've gambled. But it's like one
an addiction. Why don't you?
You got a 50-50 chance.
Right.
And the excitement of saying I'm going to put $500, to me, it was worth $500 to have that excitement. So I like
50 chance.
Yeah, of making $1,000.
If it doesn't hit, you just
roulette.
do it again.
Red or
roulette.
black. Sorry. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
You have a 50% chance of winning. So that means if you do it twice,
probably like a
49%
chance. Yes, because of that green.
Oh my god.
So what happened? Did you win?
So, I think I chickened out because he got in my head because we were on the way there and I stopped to tie my shoe and he was like, because you're tying your shoe right now, it's going to be a different result than what it would have been if you didn't. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, slid your door.
Yeah, he slid it open and don't slide my door, man. Like all of these decisions we make in just like a moment. And I mean, I know that people think about this stuff mostly when people die of like, if she would have just missed that flight, if she would have just not taken that route instead of that route, she wouldn't have been in that car accident. Like we think of a million things like that, but
Bob
it's just
Saget and his headboard.
Yeah, like that's why I think like, oh, if he would have just not eaten that thing that gave him indigestion, that made him go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he wouldn't like. I mean,
he hit his head in the middle of the night, not at the club somewhere, and then went.
No, dude, it was not. There was like.
So they proof that
his skull had a fracture.
They know it was from the bed.
Well, he walked into it. He took a picture with the valet. He I think went home to the hotel with another comics, and then there was footage of him walking through the hallways. So there was no incident.
So sad.
So it had to happen in the room, but there was no indication of like there was no dent on the headboard. There was no like
isn't it possible
there's no
he
blood
hit
or
his
anything.
head somewhere in the night and didn't really think anything of it?
Yes, that's the thing. He probably Natasha Richardson did and was like, I'll just keep going down this hill, or like I feel a little like oh I got my bell rung,
So
and I'll be fine.
So many men die of heart attacks because they feel uncomfortable and they just go, I'll just tough it out and sleep through it.
Yeah,
maybe I don't want a toughie then.
Yeah, it's
no. If you hit your head, you need to monitor yourself, and if you feel like you got your bell rung, you need to go to the hospital. That's the lesson learned.
What do they do though in the hospital?
They like check your eyes and they do all the tests.
But then what do they do?
Give you blood thinners if you have a hemorrhage in your brain. They'll give you blood
do an
thinners.
MRI,
keep you awake. I guess if you
I was
just
with
have
my friend when he had a heart attack. We were both DJs on the radio in San Diego. My friend Halloran had a heart attack. I remember I was like, "You're eating a lot of hamburgers lately," and we got takeout, like shitty food, and then I drove home at midnight. He drove home at 2 a.m. And then I got a call the next morning from his wife, and she was like, Halloran's in the hospital. He was driving home, felt weird in his arm, was like, oh fuck, drove right into UCSD Medical Center, walked in. He was like, I remember parking my car and thinking, I might pass out. He walks into the ER and they sat him down and they go, Mr. Halloran, you are having a heart attack. And they saved his life. They put a stint in his arm and his leg.
What's the acronym? I remember Rosie O'Donnell had a heart attack and she spread this. I sent it to my mom. Now I've forgotten it. But there's an acronym for women to have a heart attack because we really don't know what it is. It's like
it's cunts.
There's
C-U.
There's some like because we have different signs. It's like women just show different symptoms for everything, but we all go off of what. Will you look up the acronym, Noah, for heart attacks for women? It's like the things to look out for. Yeah, it's but it just made me realize like, oh my God, everything could be a heart attack. I'm a little bit annoyed when things are like diagnosed as like like you could like if someone drowned you and hold your head underwater, you died of drowning, but you died of murder first, right? So why, when people die of a heart attack, don't we say they died of a poor diet? They died of food addiction. When I get really angry about Amy Winehouse when everyone says she died of heroin or a heart attack or whatever. She died of bulimia. She died of throwing up too much and having like that. That's the real reason she died. Or Patrice O'Neill. If you listen to his special, he didn't die of diabetes. He died of a food addiction that gave him diabetes. But like, we got to talk about what it causes these things.
Causality.
Because it's
if you know, but
That's
like in the hospital, they're not going to assume that you ate bad, I guess.
Yes, they must. I cannot believe how disgusting food is and how people eat fried food all the time and just. It's like smoking cigarettes. They don't know.
Or just packaged
They just
everything.
know what's going to happen. I mean, I do things that are unhealthy all the time. I know, but it's like, and it's addictive.
Fried food's good.
We're not talking about what it really is. It's an addiction.
My dad's best friend
to it.
Was an alcoholic. He lost, he had a heart attack. He lost a bunch of teeth. They told him, you have diabetes. If you continue drinking, you will lose limbs. He switched to non-alcoholic drinks for a year and got so much better. Then had a little depression, had a divorce, started drinking again, lost his foot. Then I believe 6 months later, lost his other foot. And was like in a wheelchair. And then they said he died of diabetes. I'm like, he died of alcoholism. Just say it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. No, he sounds like he died of divorce, of being left.
He just wouldn't quit drinking. I am laughing with you.
No, everyone.
That's what they should say in the Variety article.
He died of heart disease.
At first, I thought that this was a bad take, but now I'm kind of on your side here. That if you get the cause in there, that actually might help more people.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's like, but I forget what comedian I was listening to this weekend. It's like, oh yeah, it was Patrice O'Neill because he was talking about food addiction and how sugar is an addiction and how food is an addiction and people laugh about it. But he was like, and he was talking about smokers are like fucking insane. Like they know that it's killing them.
It's like,
he was like,
fire
it's not even
in
like
your head.
Yeah.
He goes back in like the 60s, 70s. People were like, I don't, maybe. And now it's like, this'll kill you. Yet you're still doing it. And I was a smoker when that was knowledgeable. Like when that was, you just think you're gonna be.
And I don't reckon they'll harm your health. That's this line.
I do things though. I mean, I guess. Melatonin. Someone just told me, a bestie wrote me and said it causes dementia.
Oh,
and I was like, you know what else causes dementia? Not being able to fucking sleep.
Yeah, that's the trade-off.
I don't know, man. I'm weaning myself off of it though. I'm just I don't take it. I don't take it right away. I used to just take it no matter what. And now I go to bed and I try to get to sleep naturally. And if that doesn't work, I take it. But that has helped me because I get to bed naturally on my own. Like the past, since I've known about this a week, I think 3 of the nights I didn't need it. So thank you to that bestie for alerting me. But
you saved Nikki's life.
You saved my fucking life.
You saved her brain.
I talked about Sebastian Maniscalco yesterday, Anya, but I just wanted to get your take on it. About going to the show on Saturday night together.
So fun to just play a show and then be ferried away 5 minutes down the street with your best friend and Sean O'Brien and just giggle so fucking hard. We were all, I'll speak for myself. I was cry laughing almost the whole hour. Just so fun. The way it was arranged.
I was Pez dispensaring a lot.
Yeah.
Like my head was going back a lot, but I don't cry, laugh ever. I don't think.
I was laughing so hard. And then the seats are really close together in the Borgata. And so everyone's like crammed together. And we came in a tiny bit late during the opener's act. So we were like trying to like be hunched all together and like quiet and not cause attention to ourselves. And then at one point, like Sebastian came out and we were laughing so hard. And like I was Pez dispensering. And then I just glanced over at Nikki, who was like very close to me. And I have to say, Nick, I was so struck by your poise. You are just such a poised, beautiful, gazelle-like woman sometimes. It's weird. Like, I'm like, look at her. Your teeth are like white and gleaming. Your hair's like perfectly
like
back in a thing. You just have like perfect posture.
These clips have changed my life. These clips, they make me look poised. I swear to God.
But it's your neck.
When you clip your hair with like,
that's very 90s.
Thanks. I watched Matt's video and I was like, oh, someone has the body of a toddler. like someone has the torso of a toddler. There's no definition. I was like, I thought I was like looking good. And then I saw that video and I go, I can't watch this. I'll just let it exist as a time in my life where I wasn't happy with my body, and that's allowed to exist. But it's just a thing. It's just a
toddler with
like
perfect
like
tits.
toddlers are just like they're just
And a
there's
long neck.
there's no like there's no like waistline. They're just like a fucking tree trunk. They're just a
Well, I
belly.
didn't see
Tree
her.
trunk toddler titties.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
What clips?
Like these hair clips.
Oh, hair
Putting your hair in a hair clip.
They clip
Butterfly
your
clip.
body.
It just
Well, I
tricks you
thought you
into
had-
making you look like you have
Hair
that you're
extension.
ballerina.
I thought you
ballerina
were
or
wearing
something.
those clips or whatever it is that you can put like on your back that like forces you to have good posture.
Oh, I need that
that
clip.
would be cool.
What's that?
You
clip?
can
I'm
also
gonna
use
get
the
it.
banana clip for that. Like, try it. It's amazing.
Put it
Just
on.
shove a bunch of
Also-
skin in there.
Sitting in those chairs, like I had to sit up straight because I was like, it just makes my back feel so round. I always feel like really bad now when I have bad posture. I feel like if I catch it, I'm just like, feels so good, but you got to stop doing it. Like right now, I'm having it right now. And if I need
Kiff
to like,
method.
I need to, I
Yeah.
need to sit up more.
There was
straight.
one
It'll make me feel
person
better about
on
myself.
F Girl Island who we kept looking at like that she had perfect posture every single time she sat down. It was like a show. It was like perfect.
Really
Yeah.
on F boy or F girl?
F girl.
I'm trying to think who that was.
Yeah, we would talk
I gotta
about
see
it.
this.
We
His
would.
posture. Yeah.
I remember her. She had the perfect little slope of the lower
Yes,
back into
yes.
her butt. And I even told her, which
Yeah.
I think could have been sexual harassment. But I was like, I love the way your back goes into your butt. Like, what is that? And it's genetics, dude. It's genetics.
Wait, what do
Yeah,
you mean?
it is.
It's like a ski
like
slope?
when you sit, your back is like this, and then your butt goes whoop like that. Like it's not like there's like a little like
a
dip,
shelf.
a dip. There's a dip between your butt. Mine just goes. Mine almost gouges out. Like my sacrum has like a bulge, and then it's just flat. Like Sebastian said that his ass is like a shelf. It's like a 7. It's just like a little rump at the top, and then it goes straight down into his hamstrings like a 7.
So good.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about different bits he was talking
I
about.
went and I rewatched his Netflix special from 2022, and it was solid. I mean, it's a really good special. He's
Yes.
hilarious. I don't,
He's
you know,
so
there are some
funny.
people who get to be that famous and that successful, and your instinct is to be like, fuck them. They're not that funny. They're a
Mhm.
hack. And perhaps Sebastian Maniscalco is mainstream or whatever, but I agree with his level of success. I think it's good.
That's what I
It's
felt.
earned.
I was just like, this guy has done no tricks, like,
Yeah.
which you would look at him and think, oh, it's all tricks, like, but it's all earned. Like he's so original. He's he's worked hard enough, and he is talented enough. It's the perfect mixture where you're like, I can't deny that guy success. Whereas I can't wait to I'm always eager to call someone out on their fucking tricks, as everyone here knows. It's like, this guy's just doing this thing. Come on, wake up. But Sebastian's not doing any. He's just.
What are some tricks? After the break, can you tell me what some tricks are that you're like, stop
I've-
doing that?
We've talked about these tricks, but like the number one is like, no, I'm not. I can't say this.
Oh, like stuff like that.
No, because then the audience goes, "No, say it."
Oh, that
this is
shit
too
like
much,
that.
and then they'll like it no matter what because they've invested their money and clapped her into it.
Yeah,
Like they've
okay.
and clapped her. Anything Hassan Minaj, no, actually offense. Like I think the whole thing with him is like that's what bothers me. I didn't watch his whole apology video, but I was. It's whatever. I just anyone who's on stage and trying to be like make a point and like pull at people's heartstrings. It's like that's fine. It's whatever it is, but it's not stand up, and it's kind of feels fake that you like do
Yes.
it every night too.
Oh yeah.
Like every night
Well-
you get
Yeah.
emotional
well,
like
it's,
that.
It's
Yeah.
not I don't care if
It's
they
a
do it.
one-man show.
That's right. It's a one-man show or one-woman show or whatever. It's not stand-up comedy. Like people have the entire industry has forgotten that there's a thing called one-man shows for a reason. Because the purpose of a stand-up comedy show, the number one
Is to
purpose
be
is
funny.
to be funny and get people to laugh. And now all the stand-up specials, like at least half of them, are not stand-up specials. They're one-person shows.
which is fine, and I don't care if it's like all put under stand up comedy on the Netflix thing. Like it's whatever.
No, it sucks.
I don't. I don't like it. And I think it's insincere. This is what I think it's insincere. I do think maybe you felt that way at one point, but like to have everyone on the edge of their seat, like trying to get them to cry is just manipulative. And it just doesn't feel, and I do know that there's some instances where people have a story to tell that is emotional and you're allowed to tell that every night and to pull on people's heartstrings and to like kind of recreate that moment. And maybe not every time you can get there. So you kind of have to fake it. But then you're an actor. You're not a comedian.
Then don't call it comedy. Yeah.
I guess that's
Why
it.
are people falling for it?
But
I would know immediately.
Because
Like he did this last night also.
Because people are dumb.
But also it
Not me.
bleeds over. It's not just comedy. It's not just stand-up. It's also in television where now there's no such thing as comedy anymore. Everything's a dramedy. It's got to have some character arc where someone's going through some deep emotional thing, and it's killed off comedy shows. When's the
This is what the problem is with the morning show. It couldn't find its tone.
Oh my God, that show.
It's like, is
I
it a
can't
comedy
even.
or are they solving all the world's problems?
Yeah, I don't know what
I
the
watched
solution
it
is
all.
because I believe that everyone should, like, those kinds of shows should exist.
Well, I love The Bear. The Bear is one of my favorite shows. It is in the Emmys as a comedy, which is mind-bogglingly stupid. There's no way you can look at The Bear and say that's a comedy. There's funny parts in it. It's definitely funny, but the subject matter,
Yeah,
everything they
it's
tackle in that, it's stressful.
It
It's
should be
Succession
nominated
should
for the
be a
most
comedy.
stressful show. With the
Really?
most
Why is it
stressful
stressful? Because they're
the
like, we got to
soundtrack?
get these fries out stat. Like,
Yes.
what's stressful?
The
Is like,
music
I don't
is
even know the show.
And it's like every scene,
well, no, it's
the
the
music
family.
is at
It's all,
11.
the whole premise of the show is that their brother killed himself and that they have to take over this
and the
restaurant.
mom is insane and everything's like, it's a deadline and the sewers line is broken and we
Like
can't
here's
afford
like
it.
the nominees
not watched
for
it?
comedy in
Oh, you'll love it.
2023 Outstanding Comedy Series.
Watch it.
Half of them are not comedies. Like I would
What's
like
the
so
beef? I mean,
do you think
beef.
Barry's a comedy?
I don't know. I haven't watched it, but I would think maybe kind of because it's Bell Hader and he's funny.
But he's not
know?
funny in it, especially this last
But he's
season.
funny on SNL,
It's-
Brian.
right,
so
but just
like,
'cause
it
you-
must be a comedy.
just because
He just talks funny, Brian.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Um,
mistake is that you cast a comedic actor and
what
then
Should that be a drama though?
absolutely it's a
Yes.
especially the
Yeah.
last
What the
season. It was
fuck,
so
then?
serious. The
Why
Bear
is it a comedy then?
because they've killed comedies because they don't make as many comedies are not respected enough to get awards because they're not every piece of art needs to be saying some profound thing about the state of humanity and politics mostly.
Boring.
And it's like
so
the days of
boring.
like in the 80s when we had movies like Airplane and Police Academy and stuff like those are totally dead. We're
Yeah.
never going to see those for the next
Why?
until
What
Gen Z comes
happened?
back.
What
Because
about
it's not
like
PC.
Comes
Dude,
of age.
where's my car and
Oh,
stuff?
well, that-
I mean, I guess that's kind of old, but there's
Night
still
at the
like
Roxbury, like
Will Ferrell
Superstar,
stuff,
like things that
yeah.
are just comedy.
they're just funny.
Gen
Will
Z
Ferrell
is
needs
going to
to
come of
come
age
back.
and they will want that goofy shit again.
Yes,
think?
they already do because they love like Rick and Morty, which I don't even know what that is, but a student wrote a paper on it. It sounded funny.
Yeah, I hear that's funny. Okay, all right, it'll come back.
So, question again for you guys between one man shows or one person shows and stand up comedy, are you saying you don't like all one man shows?
We'll answer that when we get back after this. And we're back. Are we saying that we don't like one man shows? Kind of.
I don't know the
I
difference.
just don't
What's the
like
difference?
things
I
to
think
be
the
insincere.
difference
As if
is there's
it's
a
just my
moment that's
personal
emotional.
taste.
Back in 2008
it's
or
their
2010 or just 5 years ago and earlier, we would ridicule one person shows. They were a joke in an SNL sketch because it was usually just some theater major who was going up there and telling their truth, and it was like not entertaining for anybody at all.
It's like Sally Weaver
I don't know who
from
that is.
Seinfeld.
Oh yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
It
There
was
was
What's her
there was
name?
a character
Griffith.
that they all made fun
Kathy
of.
Griffith.
Kathy
Yes.
Griffin, who's going to be on the Nikki Glaser podcast.
Griffin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next
she's
week.
going to be on the show next week. Yes, it was mocked and made fun of
Mocked.
because we didn't like sincerity like that, which I still like. I don't like. I think comedians are smart and they know what they're doing and they see an in to like get more famous, and they're not doing it because they actually want to do it. They're doing it because it's like a way to make money and to be more famous. And that's where I think it bothers me, is to just be heartfelt, where it's, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't like
it's selling out.
I don't like people
for
being so
emotion.
too self-important.
I see.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a
gay.
place for the one person show. You go to Edinburgh, you go off Broadway in New York City, and you do occasional stuff in black box theaters, but it's not supposed to be called a Netflix stand-up special. It's not supposed to be called an HBO stand-up special.
Well, people got so mad
Can we
at
have an
Nanette.
example?
Nanette is still being talked about in comedy circles as like the example of like, it ruined everything. But I liked Nanette because it for me, it didn't seem like she was being anyone but herself. Or they were, I don't know what she identifies as, or it didn't seem like they were being anything but like that this is what they do. It didn't seem like put on to be like, oh, and now I'm just gonna departure a little bit from the comedy. And I just call bullshit on these guys being emotional, and I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's manipulative.
Have you ever watched a show, let's say a stand-up comedy show or a comedian doing something like this, and you do get swept up in that moment, and it is an emotional moment, and it is profound?
I hate it.
I hate it.
What about
it's
any
not
performer?
stand-up
Do you
comedy.
hate-
That's all. It's fine.
It's weird.
If I'm going to pay $300 to see
Right.
Sebastian Maniscalco, and I sit down and he starts talking about when he got
Trauma.
molested as a child, and all of a sudden
Right.
it's serious for 25 minutes.
It's therapy.
I want my
it's their
money
own
back.
therapy with my ear.
I hear that. I get
with
that.
not out consent.
But if you go see Taylor Swift, say, and Nick, you've talked about this, she has one moment in the show
sincere.
where she does have an emotional moment night after night. And so it's a little bit rehearsed, right? It's not
I would say I've thought that before, but I would say that if I had a crowd of 70,000 people screaming and cheering, I could probably get to a place where it causes me to tear up, and it's not a performative thing. But that part of the show she didn't have that built in. It just started happening with crowds where they're like, we're going to try to see if we can get her to cry. And she does it on every show, but it's not. And by the way, Taylor Swift is an emotional person. You're not going there to laugh. You're going there to feel things and to be emotional. She's sincere. She's nothing but sincere. You know, it's like, I just...
Music is generally just sincere. It's sincere in general. Your lyrics are supposed to be a connection to your emotions or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a musician, but it's the opposite of comedy.
Yeah, but
in my mind.
performers night after night after night will have the same spiel, music performers, and it's they'll try to get an emotional.
Well, that's just the
response out
nature of
audience.
performance. Is you have to repeat it. It's
I mean,
going
they're not trying
into
to
it.
be funny though.
It's going into it. It's like if I want to see someone do their one person show, I want to be paying for a one person show, and I don't want there to be awards to give into the one person show people for stand up comedy when it's not stand up comedy.
Yeah, I feel
well, sometimes
that.
I agree that sometimes I'm on stage and I don't want to do a certain joke and I don't want to have enthusiasm for it, and I have to like summon it and kind of fake it, if you will, because I'm in a bad mood,
Right.
and I just got some news that I don't like, or I'm not feeling that well, I'm under the weather, whatever it is, and I have to like get into the joke the way I was telling it the first time, and I hate that feeling. I would never seek out that feeling. I would never put something in my act that would make me have to conjure that. It's a circumstantial thing that happens sometimes because I just am in a rut. But some people design their whole sets to be like, here's where I'm going to get fake.
It's K. Stamp of K just went on it.
Yes.
The judge
Stamp.
Yeah, it's staple guns.
I think some people can do it well, but not everyone. It is an art form. I've definitely been swept up in a one-man show before and been like, fuck, I'm sobbing my face off. And I know this
but
person
Brian's
doesn't.
right. That's
And
when
then
you knew it was going to be that.
I'm sobbing my face off. This is the best comedy show I've ever seen.
You went to a comedy show because you were having a bad night and you're like, I just want to laugh. And instead you're crying about someone else's pain. That's not fair.
I guess, yeah. You
want
just
my
can't
money
make...
back.
There can't be
Give me my
rules,
money.
but there are rules.
There's categories. Literally, they're
That's
called categories.
Yeah, it's
It's a game.
And then it fucks up your
guys
algorithm
love
too.
Broadway.
It's like It's like, oh, I'm a fan of comedy. If you're a fan of comedy, you might like Schindler's List.
Right.
I mean, that was hilarious.
All right, final thought. Well, Anya, you're just joining us for this episode. Is there anything else you wanted to cover that you've missed out in the past couple weeks from the road, from, we went to the Taylor Swift day. We had this weekend on the road in Atlantic City. You weren't there in Rehoboth.
Rehoboth, I really missed out on Rehoboth. I've always wanted to go. I know. I'm trying to think. We've had so much fun lately. I'm still just flying high off Sebastian and you. Our band?
Yeah, your cover band. Were you guys?
We're doing great. We had a great Instagram live the other day. Our catalog is growing.
Oh,
we know
it is.
We know at least 5 songs perfectly, if not 7.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to 12.
This past week, I've been working on it with my voice teacher, and I went in yesterday, and it was such a struggle for me in that fucking lesson. And I'm going again right after this to my second lesson for the week. It's so hard to sing, and we got to the root of my issue, which is like, I'm always trying to sound like someone else because I don't know how my real singing voice sounds. And my real singing voice is fucking disturbing to me because he goes, there it is. That was it. That's the real one. Because you have to like loosen everything. And you gotta like really talk like this because your real singing voice is when you go, like your real voice is like kind of the sound you made or like cavemen made before there was speech, where it was just like, like this. And so yesterday he literally had me sing an entire Taylor Swift song going like this. There's nothing.
Yes,
it's just like perfect. You got it.
Like this. And I was singing like this. I mean, he was having me exaggerate it so I could get to it. And it actually, so we got to the root of my issue, which is I'm always trying to sound like someone else because I'm trying to mimic something because that's how I operate in the world. Like my sense of humor, my personality is just a big mix of all things that are other people. And whenever something comes out of me, I always get really, when someone's like, you're the only one I know who does this thing, I'm always like, ugh. I don't like things being just me. I hate
opposite.
it.
I want everything to be only me.
Oh
Nobody could ever.
I don't like it because then people are always like laughing about whatever that is. Like you slam cabinets, you fall down too fast, you plop around, you stretch out things, you take off your pants too fast, walk too fast, you say this thing weird, and I don't like it at all. But so the root of my issue is that I don't know my own. I have to get to my own singing voice, and then I can start adapting it to what I want it to sound like. But I don't even have anything to work off of because I've never said my real singing voice, because your real singing voice sounds good. It sounds good because it sounds almost so, because I'm trying to always mimic someone else so I don't sound like someone's like, oh, someone thinks they can sing.
You can sing, can't you?
Yeah, because your real singing voice sounds really good and like different, and it will kind of sound like you're trying to be, it just sounds like if I did my real singing voice, you wouldn't recognize it because it doesn't sound like me. It sounds like someone else because I've never sounded like that before, because it's this like deep, it's like who I
Adele.
really am, and I'm never, like I was saying before yesterday, like I am on stage like who I am, and I'm just like, oh, I'll say whatever, but like it's orgasmic. It's like literally a sound that your body makes that you're ashamed of because it's so real, and so you're trying to always control it. Anya, do you relate to any of this? Because Anya, whenever you tell me the story of you finding your singing voice, it was always like you were in the car listening to Liz Phair, and you were like, I'm just gonna start singing like this, and suddenly that was me, and it just sounded like this like moment where you're just like, I just like found it, and it's so frustrating because I keep having glimpses of my real voice, and then I can't get it again.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like, oh, that's it, that's me?
Yes, but then it's gone. She's gone. She leaves town. She buys a one-way ticket, and she's gone.
Can you give us a sample or no?
No, because I couldn't be able to find it. I can only find it when my teacher is like, it's like Pilates, dude. It's like, oh, you have it right now. And I'm like, this feels so weird. It feels like I'm twisting like crazy to be straight, Like, it's not my...
Maybe you can record it.
I do. I have recordings of it, but I dare not listen to it. It's so embarrassing. Only he has heard it. I'm totally comfortable sounding like it in front of him because we've had like a year of hanging out and me making these weird noises, but
that's cool.
It's not something that I can... Yeah, but it's too hard to get on.
Well, just imagine
whole
where you'll
section
be
could
a
have
year
been
from
talking
now.
about God instead of your Only he has heard it. We trust him. Him is the one that has heard my
his
true
teachings
voice.
are working
You
on me.
capitalize the H always.
Yeah.
I think repetition gets you there, and slowly the shame will fall away. But
Did you have shame of your voice when it first came out?
Are you kidding? My entire life was shame about my voice from the moment I started speaking.
But what did it sound like when you first were trying to be a singer and like didn't find your voice? What did your singing voice sound like? Can you give us an example?
I mean, all through
'Cause we
high
know what
school,
it
I
sounds
was
like
in
now.
choir and just like singing along with a choir, just like la 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 la. Had no control, no idea. Then when I wanted to sing like Liz Phair or somebody, I was like, I hate her voice. She's since become my favorite singer or one of my favorite songwriters. And I was in the car with a little recorder, and I was like, I want to practice singing. And I did. And I did my chest voice first. And I was like trying to mimic her. So I'd be like, I wanna be, and I was like, oh, that sounds awful. It sounds like Orphan Annie. And then I'd be like, I wanna be mesmerizing too. I'm like, that sounds awful and shaky. And then I was just like, why can't I just like sing like how I speak? I like singers I don't like belters. I don't like, no offense to Celine Dion, the Celine Dions and Adeles of the world. Amazing voices. Just, I don't want to sound like that. I want to sound like me. And a lot of people do not like voices like mine. I like Feist. Feist has a voice that to me sounds, I don't know, like, or Fiona Apple. Like Fiona Apple sounds a lot like her voice when she speaks.
Did you hear Matteo Lane sing the other day on his
He's
Instagram
incredible.
The opera.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was so good. Not to mention the woman he sang next to, who is like one of the best sopranos in the world. I just can't even believe these sounds can come out of people's fucking heads.
Matteo
It's
Lane
so
is
nuts.
upsettingly
I don't know how
talented.
anyone
He's
can
talented
sing.
Why?
at far too many things.
Why did he get
He's
so
like
many
Donald
things?
Glover.
He
You're
really
talented at
is.
too many things. You got to chill out.
Give it up.
And he's really
Give me one.
nice too.
Ugh.
And he's like humble and doesn't like, and he has like so much self-doubt. I really fucking love him.
Ugh.
But that clip of him singing, I knew he was a good singer. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
His low, like he's all over the map. He can hit the high notes. He can hit the low notes, like notes that you go like, that's coming out of him. It was
And
truly
he's
incredible.
ripped.
Check out Matteo Lane.
He's fucking
and
ripped.
He's fucking ripped.
He's one
He
of the
can
hottest
cook.
comedians in the world.
He speaks
physically.
3 languages. He's ripped. He looks like a fucking Italian statue.
do a
He speaks
whistle
5
tone.
languages. Yeah. He goes to Italy,
yeah.
speaks Italian to people, and sings Italian arias, and then does stand up in America. Are you fucking kidding
He does
me?
amazing stand up. He sings. He sang at Carnegie Hall the other night
Yeah.
and then he also is a really good chef. He's a really good
He's
cook.
He can draw.
He speaks 3 languages and he can draw.
And
like
have you
nobody-
seen his
What is
one-person
this?
show?
What are you
his
guys
one-person
doing?
show is so
He's
sad.
probably a murderer.
If he was just a drawer,
definitely
like
a
if you
murderer.
just only knew it, he could have a huge successful career just from his drawings because they are so insane. It's
He's
not
like a
right.
with
Disney
all
animator
hands.
level of illustrated.
Yeah, he's really that good. I've never met someone who is this talented. It's really insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't make any
He
sense.
had good parents, it sounds like.
I think he did.
I mean,
would
he
guess
obviously
he
had
did.
secure. He's secure, so he had secure parents.
I didn't know he's not. He's kind of insecure. No offense, Mateo, if you ever hear this.
Well, he's displaying all these things. You have to be secure enough to be showing it all
that's
off.
true. You have to be really secure to be able to sing, I think, in your natural
Yes.
voice because it's so. If anyone can relate to what I'm talking about, it just doesn't. I get in the like if you're a singer, the only way you're a bad singer is if you get in the way of your good voice. Like you have a voice inside you, and the only thing that's holding you back is you getting in your own way. It's so fucking frustrating. And Pilates is the same way. It's like we're born like perfectly aligned. You know, unless you're born with some kind of fucking bone disease, or something. but you know, like babies have like perfect alignment, and then somewhere
I want
along the line
perfect
we all
alignment.
get in our own way.
That's the same thing with everything, with your whole life,
You
with
just have
like
to surrender.
your emotional everything.
That's supposed to be my word that I take with me, like in my life, is surrender,
I probably could.
and then it will. Then I'm supposed to be more successful and more complete.
Well, I
and,
think that's healthy
positive
because
person.
that's like it goes hand in hand with acceptance. Like sort of based on what I was saying earlier, I don't think I uphold certain voices as like great voices, which probably 90% of the planet would. But like Jeff Tweedy, amazing voice to me. One of my favorite male voices ever. It's very natural. It is not a super duper trained voice. I'm sure he's taken lessons to control his breathing. He's incredible because to me, it's a very unique sound. Right Yeah, I was going to wear it too. It's like so identifiable. That is Jeff Tweedy. It sounds like how he speaks. It's not too far off from that. It's not fake. So I've heard you sing like you. You've sent me a song before and I'm like, dude, this is you. I hear Nikki. This is the most incredible voice because it's like the essence of you. And I don't think it's that like embarrassing or like orgasmic
it's not
sounding.
K.
Yeah, it just sounds
it's just
like
you. It does sound good. It does sound.
I gotta hear it. I'll be the judge.
Just singing in general is good because you're like trying to get people. It's like it's good. Singing's good. Sorry.
Then like you could say all hobbies are good then because you want attention.
No, sometimes hobbies are not about other people like trying to control people's emotions.
Some singing is good, but I don't think authentic singing is good.
No, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't be doing it if it were K.
I think K means try hard.
Yes.
So by nature, your personal can't be K.
So fucking hard.
But when you're singing like Nikki, that's when it breaks through that you're
not trying hard.
Yeah, that's when the un-K comes through.
Maybe if I just like think of myself as K, if I'm not doing it, it'll like help me not do it.
Anti-K.
All I want to be is
reverse
not K.
K-ism.
Wait, I got confused. Maybe if I think of myself as not K.
Yeah, like maybe if I think of anything other than my real voice as K, then I will be less likely to do anything.
Yeah.
I need to shame myself, but that's not supposed to. You're not supposed to shame yourself.
Reverse psychology
for your mistakes.
It depends on if you need this for this one thing. You could use it for a little bit.
So frustrating. So yeah, the band is stalled out until I find my true voice because I can't fucking.
What if your true voice is like
stalled
Matteo
out?
Lane's voice?
I fucking wish. I wish I had his body. I wish I would. I would take his body over mine. I don't know. There's not enough hours in the day to be Matteo Lane. I don't know how it happened.
Grow a mustache too while you're at it.
Everyone go watch
learning
him.
curve.
Yeah. Ew, I hate the learning curve. All right, we got to go. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. I'll see you this week in Tempe. I'll see you next week and wherever I am. Does anyone, do you remember where we are next week?
I don't. Detroit and Munhall, PA.
Oh, great. Oh, yay, Detroit. And Munhall, which is like
we
pretty
have
much
Thanksgiving and
Pittsburgh.
then we do Munhall and Detroit.
Oh, okay. Well, then St. Louis, look for me around the Funny Bone. I'll be doing some secret shows for charity around the Thanksgiving period. So come out to those. And I will see you this weekend on the road. We'll see you next week on the show. Thank you for listening and just don't be
Joke around.
Oh, yeah. Don't be and just
Joke
don't be
around's not one man show.
What? Oh, yeah.
Jokes not one man shows.
Yeah, don't be sincere. Don't try to pull at our heartstrings. And yeah. And yeah.
Yeah.